Good day to everyone. In this video, we shall see about the API protocols. API, it comes with a set of the rules and techniques that are used by the developers in order to integrate them to the application successfully. That is, it is defined with a set of rules and guidelines wherein the developers they are to follow that whenever he develops in any of the application, he should follow it and then he should integrate those APIs. There are different types of API protocols like SOAP, REST, JSON, gRPC, GraphQL, XML, Apache Thrift. Like this, we have so many types of API protocols. In that, two main API protocols are SOAP and REST. SOAP, it is the abbreviation of Simple Object Access Protocol, and the RESTful, the web service, it is the abbreviation of Representation State Transfer. Now, what is this SOAP API? SOAP API, it is a message specification for exchanging the information between the systems and applications. When it comes to the application programming interface, that is the APIs, a SOAP API, it is developed in more structured and formalized way. This SOAP, it is like a national postal service. It provides the reliable and trusted way to send and receive the messages between the systems and also within the enterprise applications. The SOAP, it relies on the XML format for its request and response. The main idea behind designing of the SOAP web services is to ensure that if there is any application that is developed on different programming languages, then the data transfer, it should happen in the easiest manner, irrespective of any platform. Whenever we are working with the SOAP web services, most of the time we will be using the post request, and sometimes we also use the get method also. Most of the banking applications, they are still using this SOAP UI web services because of the dependency and legacy. Now let us see how does this SOAP API works. The client application, it could be any web browser or in any mobile app or any other server. It sends a SOAP request to the server. The request, it will be processed in the XML document which contains the action that need to be performed on any necessary parameters. The server, it receives this SOAP request and it processes the request. It may involve the performing some computation or accessing some database or any other actions. The server, it generates the SOAP response and also format it as the XML document. The response, it contains the results and the action requested by the client. The client, he receives this SOAP response. The client who is using this application, he gets the response in the required format. The client application, it parses the XML response and uses the information as needed. Now let me take an example to tell you how the SOAP APIs works. Now let us assume that you need to convert some currency rates. So you are searching on a web browser to convert 100 US dollars to the euro. When you search this on any web or any application, it sends a SOAP request to the currency conversion web service. The request to the web service, it will be in the form of XML file. The XML files look like this. The server, it receives the request and reads that is from currency to currency and the amount elements. It looks up the conversion rate for USD to euro and it later calculates and it converts the amount. After converting the amount, the server, it creates the SOAP response with the converted amount. Once the amount has been converted, the response, it is again converted to the XML format. Now you can see the response in the XML file, it would look like this. Now the client, he will receive the response. Here the client, it extracts the converted amount element from the XML which contains the value and it displays the converted amount to the user. Next is REST API. Here the REST means representational state transfer. It is a simpler and more flexible way for the applications to communicate over the internet when compared to the SOAP. That is, the SOAP it is a little complex when compared with the RESTful web service. RESTful APIs they use the standard HTTP methods and they typically return the data in JSON or XML format, whereas in the SOAP it was returning only in the XML format. These REST APIs they are the most commonly used APIs across the web today. Now let us see how does this REST APIs work. The working of the RESTful APIs they are similar to the SOAP APIs only. That is, when the client in any web browser or mobile app he sends an HTTP request for the RESTful web services, the request specifies an action using the standard HTTP methods like get, post, put, delete, like this. This one we shall see in the Postman tool while using the Postman tool. Now just understand it. The server it receives the request and processes it according to the specified action. This may involve querying a database or performing some crucial computation and many more. The server it generates a response. Usually the response it will be in the JSON format or in the XML format. Whereas in the SOAP it was only in the XML format. Here it can be in the JSON format also. It generates the response using the JSON format containing the requested data or the result for the operation. The client it receives the response. The client application processes the JSON data and use it as needed. Now let us see an example wherein the client he adds a new user to the system. Now the client when he wants to add any new user to the system, it sends a HTTP post request with the user details in the request body. The HTTP post request it would look like this. The server it receives the post request, it reads the user details and the request body. Then it creates a new user entry in the database, and then the server it creates a JSON response confirming the user was added. The JSON response, it would look like something like this. Once the response has been received by the client, it processes the response and confirms the user was added. These RESTful APIs, they are easy to use and understand. They use the standard HTTP protocols and return the data in most commonly used formats like JSON. This simplicity and flexibility makes the REST APIs widely used in the modern web development. Thank you for watching our video. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button so that you do not miss any of our updates or videos. Thank you.